Hello cloud experts. So in this session, we are going to talk about 4 different deployment models for cloud computing. As per NIST definition, what we have is 5 essential characteristics, 3 different service models and 4 different deployment models. In the last 2 sessions, we have talked about 5 essential characteristics and 3 service models. If you have not seen those sessions, please go ahead and watch those sessions as well. And in this session, we are going to talk about 4 different deployment models for cloud computing. Now, what are these 4 different deployment models? So these 4 deployment models are called as public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud and community cloud. Now, we are going to talk about all these different deployment models one by one. Now, in case of private, the network infrastructure, the hardware infrastructure is actually managed by one particular organizations, right? So what we are having here is there is one organization which is having their own cloud which is used only for their own purpose. This is not available for other organizations and other users. In case of hybrid cloud, the private organization is using some on-prem data centers as well as using some cloud capabilities. So they are relying on both. They have some on-prem data centers, some capacities which are available in on-prem data center, and they are also relying on cloud computing. In case of public, the infrastructure, the cloud infrastructure is available for anybody and everybody to use and consume. So these public resources, public cloud resources are available for anybody and everybody who wants to use these resources. So let us understand all these cloud deployment models one by one. So in case of public cloud, cloud services are available for anybody and everybody. The cloud provider will own, manage, operate and troubleshoot all resources in their own facility. In this case, what they will have is their own facility. They are something called as data centers, big huge data centers. They will be owned by, managed by, operated by and troubleshooted by the cloud provider. Allocating resources on demand and releasing when not required. So you can allocate the resources whenever they are required and you can release the resources whenever they are not required. Charging only for the capacities which are being used. So in public cloud, you will charge only for the capacities which are being used by a particular user. Public clouds are multi-tenant and shared resources. So one particular hardware can have multiple users, multiple tenants, and these pools are created by using n number of different data centers or servers. So all the resources are being shared by multiple tenants. Pay as you go, only pay for the services what you are using. Go global in minutes, so it allows you to go for global services in minutes. So you can provision your resources globally. So if sitting here in one geographical location, if you want to configure resources in some other region, in another geographical region, you can do it typically in minutes. Resource shared between multiple customers. So multi-tenant means the resources can be shared between multiple customers. Now just to take an example, we have a cloud infrastructure where they will have something called as their own virtual private space. So they have something called as virtual private space which is available for the user customer A, customer B, customer C. So some of these resources can be dedicated and some of these resources can be shared by multiple users or multiple customers. So in this scenario, we have a big cloud infrastructure and in that we have created smaller chunks of cloud resources which are being used by customer A, customer B and customer C. Now, multi-tenancy and shared resources. Now, just to take an example, public cloud, AWS, which is the leading cloud computing company, has a global infrastructure where they have 24 regions available, 24 different regions available, and in those 24 different regions, they have 77 availability zones. So every region typically have 2 or more availability zones. So in that case, whenever one availability zone fails, other availability zone will be available and your data will be replicated across availability zone so that you never lose your data. It has 216 point of presence which is like edge location and 11 edge caches. We will talk more about it in our AWS course. It is serving more than 245 countries and territories. So it has got a geographical global presence available. So you can use the resources sitting in one geographical location. Let's say in India, you can actually use the resources in America also if you have your user base in America. Three different service models, we have already talked about it. We have three different service models for the cloud, called as the infrastructure as a service, where you are using just the physical infrastructure, platform as a service, where you are using infrastructure as well as the platform, and the third one is called as software as a service, where you are using application as it is. So underlying hardware, underlying platform, as well as the services are being used by the end users or customers. Now, what are the typical services? These services can be compute-based services, where we have virtual servers, virtual containers, serverless architecture computing, and runtime environments. Networking resources, where we talk about firewalls, virtual private clouds, load balancers, DNSs, internet gateways, content delivery network. Storage, where we talk about object-based storage, file storage, block storage, lifecycle management of storage, replication across regions, as well as backups. In case of databases, we have relational as well as non-relational databases, data lakes, data warehouse, memory caches, as well as big data frameworks. In case of security, we have access management, DDoS protection, resource audit, services audit, as well as multi-factor authentication. It also gives us a lot of features related to AI, artificial intelligence, and ML, which is machine learning. So it gives us resources and features available for artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, speech recognition, text to speech, speech to text, emotional recognition, and n number of other services which are available on public cloud services. In case of private cloud, you have your own private data center which are available on premises, but what you do is you use virtualization kind of technique and bring in the cloud capabilities, and finally what you will get is on-premises data center with cloud capabilities available for only single organization. So basically it is a on-prem data center with some cloud capabilities. This is what something we call as private cloud. Now private cloud, it will be operated by and operated for a single organization, called as private cloud or corporate cloud, usually hosted in customer premises, which is also called as on-prem data center, mostly used by organization which has existing data center and running some mission critical applications. Now benefits of private cloud, it will give you better services because all the resources are available for you. Cloud service enablement, you have also enabled some of the services, but this particular benefit is not a completely a great benefit because you are really not it is really not possible to have the public cloud kind of services in private cloud. Cloud aware application design, so you can design your application based on the cloud infrastructure. Security is in your own control, so you can have the security mechanism based on your requirement, and it gives you more control over hardware, security level, and provisioning new services. And the capacities are dedicated for one particular on-prem private customer. Drawback of private cloud, it will have upfront capital investment. So whenever you want to build your own cloud, you need to make some upfront capital investments. Lot of hassles in planning, buying, installing, and managing hardware. Operational cost, you will have a lot of operational cost to manage these hardwares. Limited capabilities bound by the hardware which is available, and no state-of-the-art security features. So you will not have advanced functions, features, as well as security features because this is specially designed for one particular organization. Now, hybrid cloud, what happens whenever you have some on-prem data centers and now you want to expand your capacity, and for those expansion of those capacities, you move to the cloud environment. That is where we call it as hybrid cloud. So hybrid cloud is a mix of public and private cloud, can be used for capacity expansion. Existing resources can be utilized, so you are actually using your existing resources of your own data center as well as using additional capacities of cloud environments, and additional or temporary workloads can be offloaded to the cloud. So you can actually offload your additional capacity requirements or your additional workloads or temporary workloads to the cloud. So you use your resources which is available on-prem and for additional capacities or workloads, you are actually going to the cloud environments. And batch processing kind of environments where you need big processing, you can go for cloud computing for these kind of different applications. Community cloud is specially provisioned for exclusive use by specific community, which consumer comes from organization. These can be mission related, security requirement related, policy and compliance related. So some of these missions can be government missions, some healthcare missions, some social missions, and some welfare missions. So these are some of the examples where n number of different users coming for the same mission, and they are actually consuming some resources from a particular cloud. So this may be owned by, managed and operated by one or more of the organizations in the community, or it can be managed by a third party or some combination of them. Right. So in this case, what we are using exactly the public cloud kind of environments, but now they are not used for some commodity, some customer requirements, but they are created for some social welfare or some mission related different requirements. That's all what we have in this session. I hope you enjoyed the session. Look forward to see you in the future. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, please like this video and subscribe our YouTube channel. For early notification, you can also press the bell icon. If you need any more information, please visit us at www.cloud-training.guru or email us at cloudtrainingguru101@gmail.com. Thank you very much.